She'll always pack like a gallon Ziploc bag full of medicine just in case somebody gets sick. One time I'm playing in Buffalo. It's like February. They had snow up to here. I have a little bit of a headache. I go and zip the medicine bag. We've got malaria pills. Thankfully missed the great malaria outbreak in Buffalo. And I said, baby, I love you to death. I said, this is where your packing just goes off the rails. So the next time we're getting ready to go on vacation, I walk in the bedroom and I caught her rooting through my suitcase. And she goes, She pulls out a 5-pound bag of oats, holds it up. She goes, what is this for? I said, oh, that. I said, that is just in case the 2 donkeys we're going to need to carry your luggage get hungry while we're gone. Next level, total feminine phenomena is the just-in-case level. Like my wife will always pack a little raincoat and a travel umbrella just in case it rains. I'm like, baby, I checked the forecast. There's less than a 5% chance any day we're going to be there. Okay, fine. I don't know what you're going to do if it rains. I do. I'll probably go back inside. She always packs a sweater or a light jacket just in case it gets cold at night, as it so often does in Orlando in July. Anybody else have a wife or girlfriend that will, this is what my wife will do. She will take a little soft-sided collapsible suitcase and pack it inside of the hard-sided suitcase, just in case I buy something. And I've never looked in that soft-sided suitcase. I'm willing to bet there's a smaller soft-sided suitcase inside of it. See, because with me, once my clothes are packed, I'm packed. With my wife, the clothes, that's just the foundation. Her packet, it's like an archaeological dig. There's many, many layers to it. Because once she has the clothes picked out, now she has to go back and pick out the jewelry that goes with each particular outfit. These ladies are like, yes, she does. If you watch court TV, that's what they call the jewelry selection process. Next level is the shoes. He just got the jewelry selection process. I can take as much time. Fact of life, flying on an airplane makes you gassy. Nobody ever talks about this. Nobody acknowledges it. No, we just all take our roll-around suitcase and walk to baggage claim, popping them off like a trail horse. I'm sorry, God. It was just a joke, all right? Fact of life. Women always have more. You know, I think sometimes when people invite me to speak at their thing, I think people think I'm smart because I hosted Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader for years. And that people always want to talk about the show. What was your favorite part of doing that show? I was like the part where they handed me the card with the answers on it. Because I didn't know any of that stuff. I'm an idiot. One night we had a lady on, she had a 2nd grade grammar question. It was something about an antonym, and she goes, oh yes, she goes, I remember there were homonyms and synonyms and antonyms. She said, I can't remember the difference in them. Can you use it in a sentence? My antonym came over for Christmas dinner. I'm an idiot. And when I started hosting that show, I realized just how many things I didn't know. So I literally got a notebook and I put it in my dressing room. And every day I would write down more things that I thought of that I didn't know. And they were stupid things like, I don't know how they know how long to make the cord for the first bungee jump at a new place. All right, Ed, let him jump. All right, Ed, shorten it up a little bit. Give his girlfriend a free t-shirt. I don't know why the dentist makes you lie to him. Every time you go to the dentist, my dentist will be looking at my mouth like, ooh, you have not been flossing every day, have you? No, not every day. Let me think. The last time I flossed, you did it. So, COVID started in 20, right? 2020. So the summer of 2019, Larry, the cable guy, and I were doing a bunch of dates together that summer. And when you do summer dates, they're almost all outside. You're either doing amphitheaters or country music festivals or, fairs. You're always outside, and you get used to being hot. We did a music festival in Phoenix. It was 112 when we went on stage. And the promoter was trying to make us feel better. He goes, "Come on, fellas, it's the dry heat." I said, "So is the electric chair. It's 112 degrees, so." But I don't sweat very much. I mean, you can say I don't sweat when I'm up here. And so we do this show one night in the South. I'm not even going to say the name of the city because there may be a computer genius here that can get the footage of this. But we did a show one night, and it was not only hot, it was humid as rip. So 10 minutes in the show, I got sweat dripping off my nose onto the stage. 20 minutes in, looks like a wet t-shirt contest. By the end of it, I look like I've been sprayed with a fire hose. I've never sweated this much in my life. And we usually don't eat before a show because it makes you feel kind of sluggish, so we're always hungry, when we get off stage. So I get off stage that night, and I'm in the dressing room, and I'm just pounding Gatorade and water trying to rehydrate. And I hear Larry, the cable guy, coming down the hall, and he slides into my dressing room. He's like, "Hey, let's go eat." And Larry says this a lot. And I usually go because it's fun to watch Larry eat. It's impressive. But I said, "Dude," I said, "not tonight." I said, "I got too hot. I'm not hungry." I said, "I'm just going back to the hotel and going to bed." He's like, "Yeah, right. Come on, let's go eat." I said, "No, I'm not hungry. I got too hot. I'm not kidding with you." He goes, "Are you serious?" He goes, "I cannot wait till you ask me to do something for you." What are you, 9 years old? It's not personal. I got too hot. I'm not hungry. So I got in the van. I got him to take me back to the hotel and got in my room. Well, I have to get out of here because they have other things to do. And I have another show in November I need to get ready for. But again, thank y'all for being here and donating your money to people that's going to change their life. And I mean, that's the face of Jesus. That's why we're here, is to make other people love God, love each other. So thank you for doing that. And I have such a blessed life. I have been very blessed because I've loved what my gift was, and I don't know why I can do it. I can just do it. God gave me the gift, and I've been able to do a lot of things, whether it's hosting the show, I paint, I draw, I write books. But if you ever put a gun to my head and said, "Hey, you can't do but one," it would always be stand-up. I like seeing people. I like that instant reaction. The only negative thing I've ever found about being a stand-up comedian is you're on the road by yourself. And that's why doing something like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour was one of the most fun things I ever did, because I wasn't by myself. I was with 3 of my buddies, and every night we go, "Can y'all believe they're paying us to do this? This is crazy." And people always say, "I bet y'all have a lot of funny stories from when you were on the road together." And there are, but I don't want to tell one on one of the other guys because they're not here, to give their side. But in conclusion, let me share one comedy road story with you about me. Next level is the electronics, because one time we went somewhere and the hotel didn't have a hairdryer. Well, that was a world crisis. So now my wife never packs a suitcase without packing a hairdryer. But then she'll pack a hair curler and a hair straightener. I'm like, they cancel each other out. Then she packs that lighted makeup mirror where one side has 12 times magnification. Nobody needs to look at their face magnified 12 times. At 12 times magnification, a wrinkle looks like an irrigation ditch. A blackhead looks like a manhole cover. And God forbid she find a chin hair. you're not getting a girl out of the room that sees something on her chin that looks like the anchor rope to a battleship. I'm telling you that right now. Do you know I've never, ever looked at my face in the 12 times magnification mirror? All right, to be completely honest, a couple of times I did get out of the shower and I paused in front of it just for a minute. Buenos dias, señor enchilada grande. Fact of life, you can have a wife with long, beautiful hair, or you can be on time. Questions that men have answers to. Great example. One night I got a text. The text simply said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. I go through the house, I found my wife. I said, hey, just got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, was he driving? I said, I don't know. I got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, were Carol and the kids in the car with him? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, were the people in the other car hurt too? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, did they even have insurance? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, what hospital did they take him to? I said, I don't know. I just got a text that said, please pray for Tom, he was in a bad wreck. She said, you don't know anything. What do you know? I said, I know you need to pray for Tom. I just got a text that he was in a bad wreck. Not holding anything back. That's all I got. I'm ready to go. Not my wife. I walk in the house like, all right, car's packed, let's do it. We can't go yet. What do you mean we can't go? Car's packed, let's go. No, I got to straighten up the house. Do what? Well, I'm not going to be able to have a good time if I know I'm going to be coming back to a messy house. Why didn't you straighten it up the last couple of days? Because I had to pack. Which in a nutshell is why men die before women. Because we want to.